We are live, so good morning or good afternoon or good evening from wherever you are tuning in from. My name is Angeline Constantino. I am the founder, podcaster, and coach of Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. So welcome to the broadcast today. Today is season 3, episode 3, and I have an amazing special guest with me today. And before I introduce her, welcome to my podcast, and you can listen to all the new episodes, which are available at letsbreakthesilence.com. And please like and subscribe to my Let's Break the Silence on Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, Apple, and all the live streams. So before we get started, please let me know where you are tuning in from. Please smash the heart button. Let us know where you are tuning in from. And hi, George. How are you? Nice to see you. Okay, so before we get started, I am going to introduce my good friend here, Krystal Holm. I had the pleasure of meeting her, and she is a great lady. So meet my friend, Krystal Holm, who grew up with a lot of physical, mental, and emotional abuse and was always told she would never amount to anything more than a 50% housewife. But I had bigger dreams than that. She always wanted to be an entrepreneur and own her own business. She tried many times in many businesses over the years and could never figure out how to be successful. In 2016, she suffered a work comp injury that left her unable to walk, and she could no longer work and was left to fend for myself. However, a transformation happened. I used my knowledge of clutter and Feng Shui to intentionally create a self-care space that would energetically boost my results and help me heal faster. I was able to get myself unstuck physically, mentally, and emotionally, heal my body, and grow a successful business in the process. It wasn't until I was willing to go on the healing journey to do the work and face my trauma that I finally realized my dream. I developed my own proprietary method along the way, and now I use it to help other women. So, without further ado, welcome, Krystal!
Hi, Angeline. It's so good to see you.
It is so great to see you, too. And how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good this morning. I'm feeling great.
Well, I'm glad, because I feel great too. And what time is it where you are right now?
Just about 9:30 in the morning.
Oh, see, West Coast.
Yeah,
I miss the West Coast.
I love the West Coast. I tried living on the East Coast for about a year, and I couldn't adjust to that time. I've spent most of my life on the West Coast, and even quite a few years in Hawaii, and so. Yeah, it was weird trying to adjust. I couldn't do it. In the year that I was there, I really could not adjust to being on the other side of the country with the time zone change. It was too weird for me.
Okay. Yeah, I totally get it. Oh, I have some. Okay, that's David. I'll get back to you later. And Facebook user live. Oh, I know who that is. That is Melissa. So if you're tuning in onto my in my Facebook group, which is Let's Break the Silence, please scroll up where it says streamyard.com/Facebook. Click on that link and your name will appear. Hello, beautiful sisters. I know who this is. Roseanne, very inspirational. Thank you. God bless you too, Roseanne. Wow, great to see you today. Roseanne lives in New York City, and she is a very close friend. George, welcome to the broadcast. So we're broadcasting live on my personal Facebook page, my private group, Let's Break the Silence, and my YouTube channel. So we are on all live streams, which is, the power of the internet. So I know, isn't it amazing that this is the power of social media, and this is the power of the internet to be able to connect with everyone here. So I'm just really so glad that we have so many people joining us today. So, Krystal, who is Krystal? Where did you come from? Because as I was, introducing you, you had it was a very tough upbringing. from what I see. So please share the audience, where were you in your life before you made this amazing transformation into who you are today?
Well, I mean, it kind of started when I was a kid. It started really when I was a kid. My parents divorced when I was 8, and they both pretty much remarried very quickly. My mother married a pedophile and a sociopath, and I told her about the abuse that was happening, and she actually covered it up. She called me a liar and she covered it up. And yeah, she's actually been covering it up for decades at this point. She took me to a psychiatrist and told him that the problem is that I was a liar and I wouldn't stop lying about being abused. So every time I would talk about being abused, he would tell me to stop lying. Like there was a lot of stuff going on when I was young. I got a lot of, I hate yous, and I'm only taking care of you because I have to. And, there was just a lot of worthlessness tied into my upbringing, I was very lucky. My grandparents owned their own business, and I went there after school every day. And so I sort of always had big dreams about where I would want to be, growing up. But I definitely was told that was not going to happen, right? You're not smart enough for that. You're too stupid for that. And yeah, it was a big struggle, even up after I graduated. I graduated high school and I went into several abusive relationships in a row, just because I didn't know any better, right? That's all I'd really ever experienced was abusive relationships with my parents. So that was, I found myself in a couple of abusive relationships. And so I sort of reached a point in my life where I was just miserably unhappy. Nothing was going the way I wanted to. I was a single mom with a couple of children. I had no great relationship, no great career, no great anything. And it was just and I sort of came to the conclusion at some point that I was like I needed to do something to fix me. And pardon me.
That's okay.
The traditional therapy routes didn't feel safe for me. And so, but I'd had some really great experience in, I tried to launch several businesses throughout my life. And I was very lucky in, it was about I think it was like the second business that I had launched. Right after I left my last abusive relationship, I moved across the country and I started a business. And I was very fortunate in that the owner of the company, it was like a network marketing thing. They were very big on training. And so I'd sort of started getting this idea of a group coaching thing. And I was seeing some success in that, like as far as in me, in how comfortable I felt in all of these things. And so when I reached this point of like feeling like I needed to do something different, it just so happened to this personal development workshop kind of crossed my path. A friend and neighbor invited me to go to this thing and check it out. And as I sat there watching this sort of sales pitch, I didn't even realize it was a sales pitch at the time. That's how good it was. But I was watching the sales pitch for this seminar, and I actually leaned over to him and I was like, could I go to this thing? And it was my first real personal development seminar, like specifically geared towards that sort of healing journey. And I dove in with both feet. I went to that one and then I promptly went to another one. And I spent several years going through these very experiential type of healing activities. I wanted to say experiences, but I already said experience. Experiential in going through and doing this work with facing all of the trauma that I had, been carrying around. And that was really kind of the beginning of like my healing journey.
Okay, that was the beginning of your healing journey. Okay, so you basically put yourself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you put yourself out there because there comes a time and a place. That's what I did too. Basically, I just threw myself out there. And I just want to say good morning from Minnesota. My good friend Tebra Teely, we're high school. We are high school friends. Yes. So, okay. So what were the strategies that you implemented?
Well, I mean, it took me, I spent probably close to 10 years, even just going through this process of learning about myself and kind of deep diving into who am I and what is the baggage that I'm carrying and all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I was kind of on this journey. My career was growing, right? I'd gone back to school. I had started in my career, and that was sort of growing as well. And I had a little side business. I was taking on clients, and I was learning all sorts of new things. And I was really diving into, on my own, even the psychology of trauma, right?
Okay.
Beyond going to these workshops and learning from different coaches and different mentors. And I was really diving into this work of studying the psychology around a couple of different things: trauma, and clutter, right? Clutter in our space.
Mm-hmm.
I was finding myself working with clients and catching them all getting sort of stuck in the same place. And then I had this injury, and I was suddenly disabled, right? I was at home on bed rest. I couldn't walk anymore. And I sort of decided this was like the perfect time to launch a business.
There you go. There you
Right?
go.
I'm like, well, I don't have a job interfering with my life anymore. Now I can dedicate all my time to launching this business. But my body was injured and I wasn't getting any sort of help for that. It was a workman's comp injury, and I was battling the insurance people, and I was fighting with these, independent medical examiners that like to say there's absolutely nothing wrong with you in order to validate, what the insurance company wants them to say, which is there's nothing wrong with you.
Right.
And so in the process of going through all this battle, I very much emotionally went on this roller coaster of self-worth and obligation.
Okay, hold on one second, guys. I just hope Krystal can come back. We may have a connection issue. So, anyways, everyone. So, if you're tuning in here, please. Okay, there she is. She's back.
Did you lose me for a minute?
Yeah, I lost you for a minute. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Where was I?
Okay, you were talking about. Let me just think. You were talking about. I'm just trying to think what you were talking about.
Where workman's comp. I had been talking about the workman's comp insurance, and I was really sort of battling with them, and it brought up all of these issues around my own self-worth, right? Mm-hmm. Around, you don't care if I ever walk again. You don't really care if I exist. You don't care about my life, right? It's just some person in a cubicle looking at a piece of paper, making decisions about my fate. And I felt helpless. And it brought up all of the trauma that I went through as a child, feeling absolutely helpless every day, not being able to fight back against my parents, not having my voice heard, not having anybody care about what I had to say, because every single person I told silenced me on the issue. And sort of the same thing was happening to me after this injury. And so I'm at home and I'm trying to build this business, and I'm sort of trying to heal myself, right? Like I started this yoga practice, and I'm feng shuiing my place and getting all the energy flowing properly, and I'm still just getting stuck. Like nothing is moving. And I've always been a very avid declutterer, right? I can't work that is chaotic. I've always been super sensitive to that. And so I've always been very, very adamant about decluttering my space several times a year. But I had been down with this injury for about a year and a half and unable to do almost anything for myself, right? Just sit in the bed. I couldn't even stand long enough to cook myself a meal. Like I could get out of bed to walk from the bed to the bathroom and to the living room and sit on the sofa, or, like I really was completely limited in what I could do. And so my house was getting out of control, right? It wasn't, everything was just building up. And there came this point where it sort of was like knowledge and reality collided in my space.
Wow.
I was once again trying to launch this business. I'd hired a coach. She hired me to design her space, and I sort of got things moving a little bit. And then in our work together, she actually threw down this challenge of doing 30 days of live streams on Facebook, right? To promote your business. And I was like, well, I want to make it useful to my audience. So what can I do that is useful?
Right.
And I started doing it, and it was May. And I was like, I'll do a spring cleaning decluttering thing.
Good
I'm
idea.
a master at this. I know clutter. I know decluttering. I can do this. And I know how big of a shift it makes in the energy. So that's what I'll do. And of all things,
Okay.
I started doing these videos, and I started actually doing the work like in my own space. And it had been like a year and a half since I'd been through a declutter. That had been the longest period in my life that I had ever gone without decluttering my space. And my whole world shifted in that 30 days of like just the decluttering. And I applied everything I knew, right? Everything I had learned from working with clients, from studying clutter, from studying the psychology of our mental health and trauma, and it all just sort of clicked together for me. And I started applying just sort of like my system of, well, how do I declutter? Like if I were to just sit down and say, Angeline, this is what you do to declutter your space. I was just teaching people, and I was doing it with them. And I was like, holy crap, like I've never had results like this before. Like, because it was never so obvious
Before, right. Correct. Oh,
just paying attention to the energy of the space and the healing of my body that then happened. And how once I decluttered all of the physical stuff and the mental and emotional stuff that was stuck all in there with it, even my body started healing faster. Like everything in my space, all of that shifting that happened, it all happened like simultaneously. And it was just sort of like a major light bulb moment for me in everything. Like how I'd been coming at my career even from one thing, only to realize like, oh, this is the way, right? And yeah, my whole life just was a complete 180 from then.
that's amazing. That is amazing. And I can certainly relate to what you are saying about workman's comp, because I had to battle the insurance companies 3 years ago.
It sucks.
Yeah. I mean, your voice, this is why you're here on my podcast, to break the silence, to break the stigma, and to amplify our voices. That is why you're here today, because you're amplifying your voice. You are, sharing your voice so you can help others. Because that's huge. That's huge. So for those of you who are tuning in today, if this is resonating with you, please continue to smash the heart button and share the live out. Comment below if this is resonating with you, because we would love to hear your thoughts on this. So now moving forward into the Feng Shui, because I find that fascinating. You were able to get yourself unstuck physically, mentally, and emotionally. And you were able to heal your body and grow a successful business in the process. So I would like you to elaborate more on that, please.
Sure. Where would you like me to start?
How did you get unstuck? I mean, seriously, because there are people who feel stuck. There's a lot of people who, they feel stuck, and they feel stuck, and they feel like they can't get out of their trauma, if that makes sense. The healing journey of trauma, because that's huge today, because you hear a lot about childhood trauma, and so I would like you to elaborate. What did your healing journey look like?
It looked like a lot of decluttering, literally decluttering the physical space and my body, right? In this process of healing, I really understand, like, firsthand, I get it all the way to my bones, how much, right? We live our whole lives in our bodies. And we carry every bit of trauma that we experience in our bodies. It's in our bodies, it's in our mind. We remember it all, even on a subconscious level. If you don't remember it consciously, it's all in there. And it's carrying it around, and it's in your muscle tissues. And in my own process, even as I was going through the process of healing, like talking to different experts, healing my body on a physical sense, I would talk to chiropractors and massage therapists and different doctors about what I was experiencing. And they would explain to me, oh yeah, that's like what happens when you have like an accident, right? Or an injury, and you get the adrenaline in your system, and how it literally crystallizes in your muscles. And it just gets held there. And so, but in this releasing of your physical stuff, one of the things I learned when I was in my career, I actually went to school to become an interior designer. And Feng Shui was something I'd heard of at the time. It had only been popular in the United States for about 5 years or so.
Right.
Maybe 6, not very long. And I knew it had to do with the home, but I didn't really know much about it. And so I actually came into Feng Shui a little differently than most consultants do, because I was going to school to be an interior designer. And it was in my Gen Ed class, specifically my psychology class, that we had to write a psychology paper on something related to our field of study.
Okay.
And I chose Feng Shui as my topic. And so I didn't really start studying Feng Shui from an aspect of how does it work, right? Shifting the energy of your space and making all of it into alignment. I came into it looking at it from the psychology of it, and what is the psychological impact of your space and the energy of your space and the clutter of your space, and how does that affect you? And so for me, the clutter part was very interesting, because I've always had this specific relationship with clutter and with decluttering. And so when I was like buried under the clutter, it felt very much like digging myself out from, like hoarding, right? It was digging myself out from this mental place of all the clutter that was in there, that I'd been carrying around for so long, that had been silent and unable to be expressed, right? Because no one would hear me.
Okay.
And so that was sort of kind of how I came into that.
Okay. All right. Wow. That is, what a story. I mean, it's amazing that because decluttering your mind, like, to me, I mean, if you're not decluttering your space, you need to declutter your mind too.
But the two are related, because everything that you own is a reflection of what you believe. Everything that you buy, everything that you purchase, everything that you put in your home, the way you decorate your home, the home itself that you purchase, everything that you purchase is a reflection of what you believe.
Okay, which makes sense.
Yes, and so what you buy reflects what you believe about that. So if you believe you're worthless, you're gonna fill your home with things that reflect that to you.
So how does one declutter?
You get rid of all the things that make you feel worthless.
There you go.
I literally have a 5-step process that I developed. I've developed it really over my whole life. Like, this is my method. But when I was going through this healing journey, I really dove into, like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, how do I apply this, and how does it make a difference? And so, like, I developed my own 5-step method for how to go through this process. And I took what I learned in the experiential part of my journey, right? These workshops and being able to release all of that mental and emotional clutter, and all of that is in my system. It's all part of the method of what I call decluttering your mindset, because the two things are 100% completely interwoven.
There you go. And I have a very good friend here. I'm going to read Teresa. Hi, Teresa. How are you? She's from Minnesota. So
I'm from Minnesota too, originally.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, so we got Minnesota here.
We got Minnesota in the
Minnesota
house.
is dominating. Okay, so here's what Teresa says. Sadly, I have to close. This is so refreshing to hear someone speak about a subject that resonates with my experience. I chose to force myself to make the change, declutter, when I felt like I had hit rock bottom. Blessings to you all. See?
Yes, it's
Boy, Teresa, I'm so glad
it's the reflection. We can't help it. It's our nature, right? Just like when we get sick and you get the flu, and all of a sudden you leave your dirty tissues and your dirty bowls laying around you. But when you start to feel better, you want to clean all that up.
Sure.
And the opposite is true too. You can still feel like crap and clean yourself up around you, and your energy will start to feel better. You'll uplift yourself. So sometimes when you're in the middle of being sick, you want to go take a shower and get clean and feel human again.
Exactly.
And clean up your space, because it's the energy of your space that is also stagnating and dragging you down, so now you're not just trying to lift you up, you're literally trying to get all the energy of your space moving again, because you're the catalyst of that, right? You are what taints the energy of your space into the emotions that you are carrying.
Exactly. I mean, I'm always cleaning up, and I take a shower every single morning, and sometimes 2 showers a day. Declutter, you know?
Cleanse.
That's what I call it, cleansing.
Yeah.
And I'm going through a purge myself. I'm going to be, giving away old clothes. I don't need them anymore.
Right. It's the healthiest thing that you can do.
Exactly.
Is purge and declutter everything that doesn't fit your life anymore.
Wow.
And so that is really sort of the process. We're always evolving. Hopefully we're always, because if we're not evolving, we're stagnating and dying.
I agree.
So we're either growing and evolving, but we have to get rid of all the stuff that's stagnating and dragging us backwards.
Yeah, that's right. Because then we can move forward. So in closing, because this is an amazing podcast episode, and I can't wait until this is uploaded on my Anchor FM. So, which will be next week. But anyways, we have another person. Hi. Please let us know where you're tuning in from, everyone, so we can give you a shout out. And please Let us know what your thoughts are. Smash the heart button if this is resonating with you. Share the live out with someone who needs to hear this message. Now, look, Teresa came on and shared her. This is being raw, real, and vulnerable right here. You see this?
Right.
She is being real, raw, and vulnerable. So okay, I have 2 questions to ask you. You were talking about the 5-step method. So where can they download that?
They can download that at declutteryourmindset.com.
Okay. And please explain what the free download is all about, because we talked about that it's like a 5-step method into so can you just elaborate on that? So
yeah, it will take them through my 5-step method of decluttering the physical that's just keeping them stuck from really achieving the life that they want.
Okay, very good, very good. And if people want to get in touch with you, where can people reach you?
I am on social media. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. The new love of my life is YouTube. I am launching YouTube here very, very soon.
Good.
I am behind the scenes doing all the work, getting ready to launch YouTube. And I got to tell you, I am excited about that one. So the place to really follow me and keep up with me is going to be either on my website at krystalholm.com or at on my YouTube channel. Definitely subscribe to Krystal TV over on YouTube.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So everyone, if you want to get in touch with Krystal, please go type in facebook.com/Feng Shui Krystal. Instagram. I love Instagram. And I'm actually, on Instagram more at krystalholm.home. And on YouTube, this is her bit.ly, sub to Krystal TV. So I cannot wait to see your launch. When are you going to be launching? Because I know you said you're working behind the scenes. So do you have a date?
It's a few more weeks. My official launch date is scheduled to be March 20th. So just a few more weeks there's so much to do behind the scenes to get that up and off the ground.
No, I can imagine. I know I know what that's like. Okay, so now in closing, what's a special message that you would like to share with my audience who is tuning in today?
Go on the journey.
Mm.
Heal the trauma. Carrying all that baggage around is doing nothing but causing you harm every day that you continue to carry it. You deserve to just let that go and be free from that. It wasn't your responsibility to carry it, and it's okay for you to put it down.
Okay. Good. And that's it. That is it. Wow. What an amazing episode today. What an amazing live broadcast. So for those of you who are tuning in, and for those of you who are going to catch the replay later, if you found value from this live broadcast, please hashtag value in the comments. Please share the live out to someone who needs to hear this incredible story and message, because you can heal from trauma and declutter. I mean, you motivated me. So I'm like, I am just ready to take everything out of my closet. I'm not kidding you. I'm going to do it this weekend, declutter, because if it's no longer serving, it's actually holding you back.
It is.
Yeah.
100%.
It's 100% holding you back. So guys, if you want to pick up her, and ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to, it's a free download. It's a PDF. Please go to declutteryourmindset.com. And if you would like to contact Krystal, she is on Facebook right here, on Instagram, and she will be launching her YouTube channel in a few weeks. And I'm really, really super excited for your journey. I'm super excited that you'll have to keep us posted on when you launch on your YouTube channel, because YouTube is huge right now. YouTube is like it's really huge right now. And right now we are broadcasting live on my YouTube channel. So if you are live on my YouTube channel, please like and subscribe. And please, hold on 1 second. Please like and subscribe to my Let's Break the Silence with Angeline on Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, Apple, and all the live streams. And for the new episodes are available on my website. Please go to the link in my bio and at letsbreakthesilence.com. And this episode will be uploaded next week. And I am going to, close the broadcast right now. So, Krystal, thank you so much for tuning in. Please stay with me for a few minutes after the broadcast. And we are bringing this broadcast to a close. So I wish you all a wonderful day. Thank you all for tuning in. This was amazing. Oh, hi, bro. How are you? Value, see? From the Philippines.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad.
So much value here. So much value here.
I'm glad.
Incredible. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for, giving women that voice, because we all have a voice. And my podcast does focus on helping women find their voice, amplify their voice, regain their power, and attract the abundant life that they deserve to live. So with that being said, this is the end of the broadcast. If you are watching the replay, please let us know by hashtagging replay, and we will see you on the next live broadcast. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.